Go ahead and welcome Iowa to the press conference. Coach Jan Jensen and student athletes Hannah Stuelke and Taylor Stremlow. At this time, Coach, if you would make an opening statement, then we'll open it up for questions for the student athletes.
Well, I'm just extremely proud of my group, Michigan. I have the utmost respect for Kim and her staff, and they've been my favorite team kind of to watch all year long with the way they play with pace. I've recruited Olivia Olson. She's just a great player, great kid, like so many teams in the Big Ten. But for our group, I thought we really started out with defensive tenacity again. So many people had asked me when we beat them at home, they said, what was the, secret, or what was the, what'd you do? And I just said, we really tried to make it hard, really tried to guard. And I knew that we had to do that same thing. These guys knew the scout. They knew what we wanted to do and who we wanted to do it on. And I'm just so proud, again, that they're knowing the scout and executing, and I'm thrilled and grateful we got that win.
All right, at this time, if the Iowa media will identify themselves, we'll get you the microphone first. First question.
Hi, Jonah Fry from the Daily Iowa. And to either of you, what allowed you guys to really pull away in that fourth quarter?
I think Coach really challenged us in the timeout going into that fourth quarter just to step up, take care of the ball, take good shots. And I think that fourth quarter especially is just about the heart. Our team has a lot of heart, a lot of passion, and I think channeling that into making good decisions and making big plays, honestly, is kind of what happened there for us.
Hannah, can you add to that?
Yeah, I think also we turned up our defensive intensity. I thought that was a big part of the whole game. They're a really great scoring team, so limiting their points obviously helps.
Okay, next question on this side.
Jack Maloney, CBS Sports. Hannah, we saw you had that huge and one and let out a big celebration. Just what was your emotion in that moment?
Yeah, I think I was just excited. Always good to get an and one and then make the free throw. That's really important.
Amen to that, baby.
Yeah, but I think just we were all working so hard, and it was kind of a crazy play. It went through our legs, and we didn't mean to do that, but it worked out in our favor. So,
what does this program and having one more run mean to you?
Yeah, I think it means everything. Getting that one last game in the Big Ten and having a chance to get another ring would be. I think it's going to be really fun tomorrow, getting to play, and just stepping out on the court anytime is just super fun.
Okay, let's go down here, front row.
Yes, hi ladies, Brad from W Swish. It is not easy to hold Sila Swords to 9 points and Olivia Olson to 10 points. What was the strategy that you did during the game to really, have them off their game?
I was going to say the strategy was Kylie Feuerbach and Chit-Chat Wright. Obviously, both of the women you mentioned are amazing players, great people, I'm sure. But I think Kylie really stepped up this game defensively, and they took their scout very seriously, played exactly how we needed them to play, and helped win us this game.
Okay, let's go to the back.
Sean Strohmeyer, Sports Capital Journalism program here. It's for Hannah. You're dealing with an illness, you have an elbow injury. There's a level of physicality in this game. What is your mentality to keep pushing and fighting in this game?
Yeah, I think I just want to work hard for my teammates. They work hard for me every single day, and there's just a wall. You just got to push through it, get to the next play, and do anything I can just for my teammates.
Okay, do we have any more questions for the players? All right, ladies, you are dismissed. You may go back to the locker room, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Love you.
Okay, questions for Coach. Let's go to the Daily Iowan.
Yes, Jonah Fry from the Daily Iowa. Jan, what did you see out of your team in that fourth quarter? Was there a certain spark that really allowed you guys to pull away?
Yeah, I think, I don't get really hot with my team too often, but I called that timeout early in the third quarter. And, I told them the only time I usually get feisty is when I see us leaning back. And when Michigan made their run, and then they took that 1 point lead, and then the rest of the third quarter kind of went back and forth. But then Michigan was ahead, I think, by 1 going into the fourth. But then in that fourth quarter, to start it, I just had everybody do a Zen moment. And I just said, look, this whole summer, this is what we've been working for. And we need to go out there. It's all loosened up a little bit. By this time, we were starting to see a little bit more glimpses how we could get it inside. So I challenged our bigs. I said, look, we haven't looked as sharp knowing what to do when they do a flat double. They're sagging off I call it that, we do, our staff, our person at the high post. And we were just so tight, which is what a good defense does, right? And they just started to really, I think, start to drop their shoulders. I could kind of see it. And that's where I just think, I said, we just got to be us. And I think that we had more attention to the high-low game for them looking for each other. And I wanted to get us in some ball screen actions that weren't with the 5 as much, because they do such a great job of really, really hard hedging and most of the time trapping chat. And they really paid attention. And then we hit some big, tough shots. I mean, how big were Taylor Stremlow's threes, right?
Question in the center.
Nate Schreck from the Michigan Daily. Michigan's press has been something that's on the top of the scouting report. How are you guys able to find success against that in this game and then obviously a couple weeks ago? Well,
I tell you, what's unique about the tournament, right? When you have game plan, you can usually get 2 days just to focus on your next opponent. And, Michigan, their press is, as you say, really good. Ohio State's has a really good press. We'll see it periodically from other teams in the Big. So you can't really practice it so much. So that's what I was really so nervous about. I thought, oh boy, because I couldn't really go up and down. And I just mentioned, our press break and how we were going to handle it. But I think from the moment shoot-around ended until the game tipped off, I think that's where I was so stressed about. I was, battling in my mind. You should have gone up and down. You should have risked the legs, But I think it's just you get to this point in the season, and they've been there. We handled it at home after the first quarter, for the most part. And it was kind of the same way today. They got us a few times on it, but more often than not, we were able to kind of break it, get through, and we have a good ball handling big in Hannah. And I think that's what is a little bit of a help for us, is that Hannah, she doesn't hesitate and get worried about it. We throw it back to her, and she just brings it up with pace. And so I think 2 things. We've had experience throughout the whole Big, different presses, but it's that duress you're under. But then you get to this point, and you got to rely on that, and then Hannah's a good ball handling big.
Okay, near side, third row.
Jack Maloney, CBS Sports. Hannah had such a great game today, and she's been through so much, with you in the program. Just what does she mean to you as a coach?
Hannah's like a daughter. She, I don't know if you've read much about us, but she came to our little basketball camps, and this svelte athlete, when you're the little kid camps, and just played with that tenacity. So you kind of had your eye on her, but they're little, right? But then when she came to our elite camp, and she lived 30 minutes down the road, so you just know her a little bit longer than some of the others. And, just watching her ascension has been really great. And just like all your players, they really, they become like daughters to you. But Hannah's rise has been fun because she's not a real outspoken kid. Her freshman year, she wasn't this loud in a press conference. It's not like she's the loudest and is going to give you the longest answers. Strem will take that duty. But she's really leaned into that leadership role. And for her to put that team on her back in the fourth quarter, and really, I'm glad you asked about her sickness and her injury. That's just a senior willing it to happen, really, because she was sick and that elbow still doesn't feel great.
All right, anything else for Coach? Coach, thank you very much.
Right.
We wish you the best of luck
Thank
tomorrow.
you. Appreciate it. God bless.